Guys, it's the Unsmooth Criminal here, and this is going to be part 2 of what if female Deku had a fireforce abilities. So we go back to it's now she was 13, now she's 15, and she's about to go into the um UA to take the test, and she was given a pen. And this pen she's had for ever since Aizawa gave it to her. Not Aizawa. Since someone gave it to her, and I forget who I had gave it to her. But she's gotten really close to Johto, and no, yeah, she's walking into UA for the first day, and all of her stuff has already been shipped to the dorms. She's really close to Shoto, Toya, everybody in the family, and anybody new she sees, she's got to stay away from before she understands or recognizes who they are, or recognizes if they're friend or foe. And Aizawa knows this and is like, okay, it was Aizawa who gave her the pen, because he was the one who talked to her. And, yeah. So Aizawa knows this, and he's like, okay, I need to put her in the back. So he walks into class, she walks into class and sees that Aizawa, or knows that Aizawa is behind his desk. So she walks up to Aizawa and waves and starts writing in the air, because she still has problem with speaking. Okay. So she still has a problem with speaking, but she uses the pen most of the time. So she writes in the air, where do I sit? And he says, you sit in the back, far left. And she goes, okay, where does Shoto sit? And he goes, back, far left, right next to you. And she claps happily, and she runs to the back and sits down. And he can hear from the back of the classroom saying, thanks. A very stuttery thanks, but thanks nonetheless. And he goes, you're welcome, and he just continues sleeping, and Shoto arrives a little later than she does, because he was told the rules and what his job is for Yui, I think I call her. It's either Yui or Sarah. Sarah. It's Sarah. So he was told the rules and what he's supposed to do with Sarah when she gets freaked out, and he goes, okay, I will. He walks into the classroom and he sees Sarah. So he walks over to her and he sits next to her in the seat where he's assigned, and they start chatting. Well, she writes and he talks. And another kid walks in the door. Mina Ashido. And she sees these two and she's like, oh! Are they siblings or are they a ship? And she's just thinking this, and she didn't notice Aizawa at all. So she sat down in a random seat. A little further away, she's mumbling. And she's mumbling to herself, and she's wondering things. So she's mumbling, and a kid walks in. And it's a female kid, and she's all happy. She's a happy-go-lucky kid, and she walks in, and she's just sits down in a seat and just sits there. And she's smiling, and Sarah senses something weird about her. So she pulls out her phone and texts Aizawa that the one in row 2, seat 3, very center of the class, is strange. And he goes, okay, I'll keep an eye on her. And she goes, okay, thank you. Crap. And he texts back, you're welcome. And he puts his phone back in the sleeping bag and he continues to sleep. And Shoto sees how uncomfortable she is and is like, okay. So he continues on with his day until Aizawa finally gets up and says, "Took y'all 10 minutes to shut up." And Izumi already is walking away and he goes, "Follow her and take these." And he pulls out the entire stack of PE clothes. And so everybody goes to the locker room and Sarah's already out of the locker room and she's at the field just sitting and waiting for people. And she's gotten faster and faster, so she pulls out a dagger from from the sheath that she has connected to her belt, and she pulls out a piece of wood from her pocket and starts to carve and whittle again. And people come out and see her with a knife and like, what the hell is going on? And Shoto walks over and says, "It's time," and she just puts the knife in the sheath and gets ready to go. So Aizawa says, "Okay, Sarah Todoroki, you're first up." And the girl that looks all happy-go-lucky has a shift. And Sarah feels this and runs behind Todoroki and starts to shake. And Todoroki turns around and hugs her, going, "It's okay, it's okay. No one's going to hurt you here. It's okay." And she's shaking violently now. And Aizawa goes, "Okay, you, prom child." And everybody's like, "Who?" And he goes, "The one that's smiling mischievously over there." And she points at herself and goes, "Me?" And he goes, "Yes. You go back to the classroom for now. I will call you out when it's time for you to test." And she goes, "Okay." And she walks back to class and Sarah stops shaking a little. And she still feels this presence near her. And she she's starting to stop shaking and she's slowing down the shaking and she's still shaking, but she walks up to the plate and she's like, I can't use my quirk yet. So she grabs the dagger out from her back pocket and pokes the ball and takes her hand off the ball and is balancing the ball on the tip of the dagger. The ball catches fire. She grabs the ball and throws it, and the fire makes it go faster. So she gets roughly 1,000-ish meters. Everybody else gets cannon. And this girl gets called out by Aizawa, and Sarah is currently in the uh, warehouse right next to them to be comforted by Shoto. Okay. And she walks to the circle and she pulls back her arm and she goes, "Oh crap, I can't do this." So she throws it at half power. And she gets 10,000 meters. So everybody looks at her like she's a monster and she goes, "What?" And Aizawa finally asks her, "Okay, I have a question for you, and this pertains to the uh, little whirl fee that we have in class." And she goes, "I know, she's so cute." And when I heard her name, I got even more jealous because she has a good name. And he goes, "So you're not planning on anything?" She's like, "No. I want to pet her though, but no." He goes, "Okay. I will tell her and see if she'll try to open up to you, but just give her time. If she doesn't open up to you, then just leave her alone because she had some very nasty things happen to her." And this girl says, "Okay, sure." And this girl goes, "Oh, by the way, can you tell her my name is Yui?" And he goes, "Sure." So he walks into the warehouse and says, "Okay, everybody's going back to the dorms. You can stay here for a little bit longer if you need to. And that girl's name is Yui, and she just really wanted to pet her. And he points at her, and she's currently asleep on Shoto's shoulder. And he goes, "Oh, okay, so she was paranoid for no reason." And he goes, "But just to be safe, keep an eye on her around them," and so on. And he goes, "Okay." So he picks up Sarah and starts taking her to the dorms, and she wakes up and she sees Shoto carrying her, and she starts to freak out, being like, because she's not on the ground and she's thinking she's being taken away. And he puts her down, being like, "It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I was just taking you to the dorms. You can whittle again over there." And she goes, "Okay." And so they take her to the dorms, and she writes in the air, "Shoto, can you please tell Aizawa that I'm whittling him something so he can put it in his class?" And he goes, "Sure. Are you going to be here for tomorrow's class?" And she goes, "No, I'm sadly not. I'm being here, stuck in here, doing this." And he goes, "Okay, I'll tell Aizawa. And I'm going to have you guys guess what she made, and I'm just going to describe what she's whittling." So she whittles out the 4 legs, and she whittles a curve into it. Then she whittles out a headrest that has the neck holder for the back of the head, and it goes down to the curved area. And it took her all day, and then she finally gets these supplies to basically pad it a little so Aizawa doesn't hurt himself when he uses it. So she pads it a little, and she puts warmers and a pair of medical eye packs to rest on his eyes to help his eyes. And you guys have to tell me what it is in the comments. That's your little trivia question. And if you guys get it right, 10 billion points that do absolutely nothing. Yet. Hopefully, Roman Mina, who's going to be watching this, and I know you're watching this, dude, can help me set up a bot to keep track of points, because I'm going to start trying to give people points if they're in my Discord. And Discord link in the description. So, you guys want to join my Discord? Join the Discord, but let's continue with the story. And she whittles this, and she finally gets back to class, and it's the heroes versus villains. And it's the 3rd day of school, and Aizawa gets the present, and he goes, "Oh my god, you're my favorite child." And he hugs her, saying thank you, and she goes, "No problem." And she says this clearly because she's happy and she doesn't have any worries. And he goes, "Oh, no stuttering! Oh my god! Oh my god!" And he's starting to freak out because she didn't stutter. She's starting to calm down and get back to normal. And she starts to giggle, being like, "It's fine." Okay, I'll be right back. So, the Discord's coming together. I'm having a very skilled Discord person. Thank you, Roman Mina. You're a lot more skilled than me. So if you disagree with very skilled, thank you. But I'm having him help, and he's going to be an admin. He's the very first admin, so I'm going to give him a special role. He's going to be the admin of admins. So, where was I? Okay, so she's whittled a little bit of everything for every teacher, and she can just continues whittling, but it's the heroes versus villains, and she walks out. She walks out like this. Instead of in a full-blown hero costume, she walks out like this, and she looks more mature now. everybody's confused. And she talks to Shoto. She literally talks to him. Remind me to tell Dad that we need to go to the quirk doctor. And she just looks bored as all hell. And Shoto goes, okay, I will. This is strange because it happened while I was with that asshole. And she literally looks pissed off. And he goes, okay, I'll remind you. So, we start the Heroes vs. Villains, and she has a stick on her back, and everybody's like, what the fuck do you have an iron stick on your back? And she goes, this isn't iron, this is tungsten. This is really heavy and melt-resistant metal. And they all look at her and go, why do you have a tungsten rod on your back? And she goes, this is also my favorite weapon. And she pulls it off her back and she hits it against the ground and the ends flatten out. And it shows a flammable material on the inside. And she lights it on fire and she grins because she's like, time to fight. Because something happens when now that she has a ton of quirks and she was obedient to them because of the pain. One of the quirks is a size manipulation quirk, and every time that she changes into different clothing, she gets a different personality, and it's a mental thing for her. And she was in 10-year-old clothes because it fit her at the time, but she had a costume customized for a 20-year-old. And we're going to go back a little to the support course, and Mei Hatsume is seeing this request, and like, the hell? And this little girl walks in with a item, and this little girl hands it to Mei, and pulls out a pen and says, so, do you like my costume design? And Mei looks at this, and looks at her, and looks at this, and looks at her, and asks, this is your costume design? And she goes, yeah. Why else would I ask you about it? And she's gotten along with Mei because Mei just focuses mainly on her inventions and nobody else. So she gets along with Mei easily, and Mei goes, oh, okay, I have a question for you. And she goes, yes. Why do you want a 20-year-old size of clothes instead of 10-year-old? She writes in the air, because I'm stronger and I'm 20, not in this body of a 10-year-old. And Mei goes, okay, that makes sense. So sure, let me do it. And Mei says, but you gotta give me your tungsten rod for me to mess with. And she goes, sure, as long as I get it back, either the same or better. And Mei goes, it'll definitely be better. So I go back to the Heroes vs. Villains, and she's out there, and all the guys are just staring at her, and the trickle of blood runs from their nose, except for Shoto, because he sees her as a sister, not a love interest. No Alabama shit, I'm sorry. So, All Might finally gets out of his stupor of staring at this beautiful woman in front of him, and says, okay, I shall list the teams now. It's Yui and Sarah versus Bakugo and Todoroki. Bakugo's like, oh crap, I gotta fight Yui? Because Bakugo doesn't know who Sarah is. He just sees a wolf girl. And Todoroki's like, fuck, I gotta fight my sister. Shit. And he's like, oh yeah, Yui's strong too. And everybody's like, you're scared of Yui. You're more scared of your sister. And Shoto goes, if you've seen what she did to the number 2 hero in a race, you'll know why I'm scared of her. And I'm like, I don't think we want to. And he goes, good, you don't. And so, yeah, everybody gets ready for the fight, and Todoroki says, we're going to have to go to ground Charlie. And All Might goes, oh, crap. Yeah, everybody go to ground Charlie's observation room, which is 5 feet away from me. Ground Beta observation room. And then get ready for some pressure. And they go, what do you mean pressure? And he goes, you'll see. So Izumi hears that they have to go to ground Charlie, and she knows what ground Charlie is, so she's like, weapon change? And Todoroki goes, I'd rather not. But yes, weapon change. And she goes, weapon change. And she starts laughing and giggling to herself, and she runs she activated the devil's footprint. She's barefoot right this second, and she runs at unthinkable speeds with the devil's footprint, and she goes into the locker room, and she shrinks the tungsten rod down and puts it in the locker, drops it, and grabs the wooden stick out of the locker. And this wooden stick is not your average normal wooden stick. It's got a blade on it. And if anybody has seen Bloodborne, it's basically the saw sword. The saw sword for saw sword. Yeah, saw sword for Scython. And so she gets back and she starts swinging this stick around, and all of a sudden they hear a ching, like something popped out, and all of a sudden this flames start to erupt on this stick, and they're like, what the hell? And the flames cover the blade completely, and she's just swinging it like a professional. And she just stops swinging it for 1 second and slashes something, and it shows it's melted that quickly, and it was cut in half. So she grins evilly, and she goes, hey bro, you ready? And Bakugo's getting a little scared, because this personality does not match the same girl that was in class yesterday, or 2 days ago. And so he gets in a fighting stance. It's like, you damn extras, I'm gonna beat you all. And Todoroki's like, I don't suggest you leave this room. And he goes, why, you damn extra? And he goes, first off, we have to fight Yui, and you know what she can do. And then you have to fight my sister. You don't know what she can do. I know what she can do. And he goes, she just has a fire quirk. And he goes, no. She doesn't just have a fire quirk. She has a pyrokinesis quirk, a fire manipulation quirk, and she has a weapon master quirk. Because she was abducted by the #1 villain to make into what he called a Nomu, I think. And he explains what happened, and everybody's hearing this. And Yumi's hearing this too, because she was kind of cut from comms Sarah was kind of cut from comms, so she didn't have to hear this and relive it. And All Might goes, young Bakugo, don't judge by people's appearances. She is he's mentally fucked up. And everybody heard him cuss, and they're like, the hell? And he goes, I'm sorry, but that's the best word to explain what happened to her. And they go, true. Um, yeah, true. And he goes, so, young Bakugo, are you ready? And he goes, damn right. All these people are just a bunch of extras. And Todoroki gets back on the comms and says, Sarah, can you please run back and get a different weapon? That is a very lethal weapon. And she goes, oh shit, I forgot. This is Hero School, no killing. Fuck. And so she uses the Devil's Footprint again and runs back to the room. And she doesn't grab any weapons. Any normal weapons, at least. She grabs this. And she has it on both arms, and they're currently in the size of the Captain America shields. And Todoroki sees this giant brick on her arms, and he's like, "Oh, please don't tell me those are those." And he's starting to freak out, and everybody's like, "Those are what? What?" And they have a slight curve to them, so they fit together good. And so Yui walks up to Sarah and says, I'm guessing those are very strong weapons. And she goes, yes and no. Most people don't consider them weapons, but you can use them like weapons, so they're weapons. And Yui goes, shields. And Sarah goes, ding, 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 you got it right. I love people who get it right. And Yui hears this, and she starts thinking perverted thoughts, and a trickle of blood goes down her nose, and she goes, and she wipes the blood away, and she goes, let's go. And Sarah goes, sure. And she flicks her arms out, and the doors pop out to full size, and they're tungsten reinforced doors. Tungsten reinforced, it's not vibranium, because vibranium doesn't exist. And she sets them on fire and goes, time to charge. And she just uses her Devil's Footprint and runs right through at speeds unseeable by the normal naked eye. And she runs right through, burning a hole through the area and a hole right into the bomb area. And she's just standing there like, oh crap, that's hard. I did not expect a tank there. And she flops on her butt, being like, oh crap. And Yui appears right next to her and goes, damn! And if anybody's wondering, Yui looks like that and a mixture of this. She has a blindfold on, by the way. Ooh, that one might be the one. But, so they win, and Sarah has not changed out of her hero costume, and she walks up to Todoroki and says, can we go shopping real quick? I want to get clothes like this so I don't have to keep riding everything. And he goes, sure. So she boldly walks up to her partner for that and says, do you want to come shopping with us? And she goes, sure, I'd love to. And so I'm going to leave it there. So I leave it off when their date and their shopping little excursion. And hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys liked it, leave a like. If you guys enjoy my content, subscribe. And if you guys want to talk to me personally, get to know me, because I'm going to be off and on Discord all day. Today, tomorrow, and the next day. Or, no, not the next day. Today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Not Wednesday. Wednesday I have to do something for my grandparents. So I'm going to be